On tonight's CTV News, the Christchurch City Council has tough decisions to make with the Koromintha report out and a gaping hole in council finances. What will the impact be on city facilities, road repairs and rates? This is CTV News. I'm Grant Mangan. The Christchurch City Council has finally been told the status of their finances. The Koromintha report was released yesterday, but not everyone agrees with it. Earthquake Minister Jerry Brownlee has commissioned his own review into the report. In the meantime, the council will have to find a way to deal with the issues raised in the report. Emma Cropper has the story.
It's a grim outlook for the Christchurch City Council. This 27-page report outlining the financial health of the council's finances, including a budget shortfall of $534 million.
This is the baseline report for us to understand our financial position. The next stage is to go through a process where we start to analyse what all the options are.
Opening the books of the council's finances was a post-election promise by Mayor Leanne Dalzell, commissioning Koromintha, an independent financial advisory firm, last year, a way of assessing the council's financial commitments underpinning their 3-year plan.
That 3-year plan was developed at a time where there was considerable uncertainty, and it was a plan that was required to be brought together in a relatively short period of time.
The report found there was no headroom for escalation of or unexpected costs. Mayor Dalzell stressed this wasn't a final figure, with the council banking on receiving $1 billion from their insurance payout.
It doesn't mean that this is a final figure for the city, but what it will do is give the people of Christchurch a clear understanding of what the true financial position of the council is, and also, and I really wanted to call the conference today to make sure that people understood that the council was in a very clear, let's get on top of this mode. We are not going to let this happen. We are going to find the solutions that will enable us to produce a good result for the city.
Now, the main issues facing the council are finding the money to fix the city's broken roads and pipes, hundreds of the council's community facilities, and funding the $783 million towards the anchor projects as part of their cost-sharing agreement with the Crown.
There is no one single silver bullet. There is no one solution to the problems that we are confronted with.
Options of how to deal with the shortfall are now on the table, including opening negotiations with the Crown over anchor projects, cutting back on rebuild costs, which could include not doing some of their planned work, raising rates and improving or selling off council assets.
We are determined to get on top of this. We cannot go forward with the level of debt that is imposed by these numbers, and we will get on top of it.
This weekend, the council will begin working with their strategy team to find a solution. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
A Christchurch City Councillor is warning many of the city's damaged council facilities may not be repaired because of the council's funding shortfall.
The earthquakes badly damaged many of the Christchurch City Council's facilities, from pools and libraries to major ones like the Kiwi2 pool and AMI Stadium at Lancaster Park. More than 3 years on though, hundreds still need repairs or even total rebuilds. The Koromintha report paints a dire picture of the likelihood of many of these buildings even being repaired.
I think what is going to be clear in the next couple of weeks is that we have a serious funding shortfall. Until recently, city councillors believed they would receive enough insurance money to cover 95% of the cost to repair and rebuild more than 1,000 facilities. But to date, the city council's only recovered about 45% of repair costs from its insurer. The council could find itself with a $121 million shortfall to repair the damaged facilities. The total bill adds up to $212 million.
We have the question actually, well, what do we want to spend? So it's not just, so we have a budget, we have a funding shortfall, but then we don't necessarily have to spend all of that. We can actually say, let's cut the budget.
One way to do that could be to rethink the blueprint and the anchor projects.
How many people are going to bus into the central city to use a massive swimming pool? You know, maybe in 5-10 years, but right now, not as important.
Instead of spending hundreds of millions of dollars on one big anchor project, City Councillor Raf Manji told CTV's Chris Lynch one idea could be to build smaller new community facilities all over the city.
When you say community facilities like what?
Well, just
Swimming pools
and libraries. I mean, if you think how much money we're putting into the Metro Sports, Council's putting in 140 million. It's going to cost 250 million, and we still don't know what the final cost is. Now, you could build a lot of community swimming pools for that. A lot, where people could walk to it within 15 minutes.
Councillor Manji doesn't want to cancel the projects. He's only suggesting some of them are delayed.
I wouldn't cancel anything, but I'd say that there are priorities, and some of the bigger ones are down the list of priorities at the moment.
Like what?
Or the stadium, for example, and the Metro Sports. I mean, they probably won't be delivered for 4 to 5 years. And I think they were planned, obviously, a lot earlier than that.
The Quarter Mentha report recommends 4 options. The first is to fix any closed, damaged facility. Another is to only repair buildings to 34% of the new building standard. 70% of the 1,000 community facilities are still open and available for use. Some have been demolished, while another 259 are still waiting for repairs. Following the report's recommendations, only 259 buildings not open would be repaired, but it would reduce the shortfall to just $73 million. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
The state of the city's roads may be under threat as the Quarter Mentha report finds the council is short of money to fix them to the intended standard.
Fixing many of the city's streets may be put on hold. The council's finances have come under scrutiny after the release of the Quarter Mentha report, a firm hired by the council to take a look at their financial situation.
But it is quite damning, and it's a worst case scenario, and sometimes people don't like the truth, but there's some serious decisions that need to be made. And
based on the council's 3-year plan, rebuilding the city's pipes and roads will cost $3.6 billion. Which means the council will need to front up with an extra $413 million to pay the bill. The council has the option of negotiating extra money under their cost-sharing agreement with the government. Without the extra $413 million, the council may have to cancel some of their roading projects, or do the work to a lesser standard, or negotiate savings with its contractors. The council is now working on prioritising projects, so if money is scarce as it comes to the end of their work, the important projects would have been completed within the budget. Mayor Dalzell says the previous council believed the infrastructure repair estimates were understated in their cost-sharing agreement, and that it wasn't surprising it remained a point of contention with the Crown.
A key player of the Performing Arts Precinct is unhappy with Council's decision to repair the Town Hall, claiming there won't be enough funding left for Christchurch's art organisations.
The central tenant of the embattled Performing Arts Precinct has spoken out against the proposed repairs for the Christchurch Town Hall. The comments from Court Theatre Chief Executive Philip Aldridge are a response to the Quarter Mentha report into the Christchurch City Council's finances. The report shows a $534 million cost shortfall. This cost may still increase, depending on how much the council settles its insurance claim for. In an opinion piece, Philip Aldridge claims spending $130 million to fully restore the town hall puts the Performing Arts Precinct in doubt. This is because the council's finances are not in the green. Philip Aldridge says with dismay, the master plan for the art precinct was destroyed the moment the Christchurch Central Development Unit chose not to use the Forsyth Bar site. When asked if the release of the report might prompt a review as a way to free up money for the precinct, Mayor Leanne Dalzell said that was the wrong question because insurance issues were involved. The Court Theatre Chief Executive says the promise of a purpose-built facility was exciting, but the project appears to be floundering.
Christchurch City Councillors debated at today's council meeting whether to dismiss rockfall protection for parts of the Port Hills.
Port Hill Reds owners have been urging city councillors to reject what they're calling a whitewash report into rockfall protection. The report outlines only 24 properties benefiting from the protection. The council staff suggestion for councillors states the mitigation is an unattractive and largely unaffordable option. Port Hill's MP Ruth Dyson told the press she hopes councillors would reject the report. She says it's coming 3 months too late, describing the report as disappointing. But as reported in the press, city councillors want more information before making their decision. They're deferring it until next month. Some Port Hill residents want the mitigation extended to their red-zoned homes. They say it could save millions of dollars. But council staff say the minister doesn't want to support area-wide mitigation, including on Crown-owned land. That's why council staff are recommending the council doesn't mitigate the land.
Coming up, they're off the shelves, but how much profit were the makers of legal highs actually making?
Yuck, look at all this moss and lichen. I'm not getting up there, not in these heels. Time to call Mossbuster.
Mossbuster is a no-bleach, non-abrasive, biodegradable solution that has over 35 years of proven results. You can buy Mossbuster online for less than half the cost of other well-known products and can be yours for less than $1 a litre. You just spray it on and let Mother Nature do the rest, or Mossbuster can do it for you. Check out our website or call the Mossbuster crew for a free quote. Mossbuster, 0800 88 1000.
Come dine with Country Catering at the Kaipoi Golf Club Cafe. Enjoy our range of delicious $10 lunches, daily specials and other homemade goodies. Open to the public 7 days inside the Kaipoi Golf Club, north end of William Street, Kaipoi. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Ready to go, mate? Flight leaves at 4:30.
Relax, mate. We'll park at Airpark Canterbury.
Airpark Canterbury, privately owned and operated with a free 24/7 shuttle service. Call 0800 Airpark or book online at airparkcanterbury.co.nz.
Here, an opportunity of a lifetime has arisen. A chance for you to live, work, play and relax in the heart of New Zealand's adventurous alpine environment. The Drive is a stunning lifestyle subdivision nestled between the Twizel Township and the renowned Lake Ruataniwha. Starting from just $135,000, each section allows stunning views and offers the potential to develop your very own piece of utopia. For more information, visit mackenzieproperties.co.nz.
Let's face it, everyone has an agenda. And guess what? So do I. Every week, I'll pick 3 stories that grab my attention.
Agenda with me, Brent Goff.
They're off the shelves, but how much profit were the makers of synthetic cannabis making?
As of 12:01 this morning, new laws came into effect, making it illegal to supply, manufacture, or even possess what were once known as legal highs. New figures from the government estimate the industry was making a huge profit on each packet of synthetic cannabis sold. As reported in the press, the profit margins were large, up to 1,000%. The Ministry of Health says cheap chemicals were imported from China. They were then processed into synthetic cannabis for as little as $2 a packet before being sold for $20. The Ministry of Health says cheap chemicals were imported from China. They were then processed into synthetic cannabis for as little as $2 a packet before being sold for $20. The banning of the product was quickly rushed through Parliament. Only last year, Parliament had voted to regulate the market. Those who've seen the dark side of the drug have been praising Parliament for the law change. However, others have called it electioneering. The Health Ministry estimates more than 3.5 million packets of legal highs were sold in New Zealand since the products were first regulated in July last year. The rapid rise of the industry caught the government by surprise and is estimated as a $140 million a year market. There are now fears the drug will be forced underground into the black market. The ministry estimates about 200 people are addicted and will need help to withdraw. The penalty for possessing a small amount of the now illegal drug is a $500 fine. Possessing a larger amount could result in 2 years of jail time or a $500,000 fine.
Liquefaction from earthquake-affected properties is being used as material for repairs and construction.
Turning muck into matter. Liquefaction from earthquake-damaged homes has started being used for repairs and construction. Forced above the ground during the Christchurch earthquakes, more than 100,000 cubic metres of the material was taken from damaged properties to the Burwood Resource Recovery Park. The silt and mud was also made useful in small amounts at the Old Bexley landfill site and a Waimakariri roadfill. Safety concerns over the use of liquefaction can be put at rest, as the content isn't used until after it's been tested for hazardous materials. As reported by the press, the Christchurch City Council's acting unit manager for City Waste and Water, Tim Joyce, confirmed the materials used for repairs on the oxidation pond embankments at the wastewater treatment plant. The Burwood Landfill Access Road also uses the liquefaction matter for the construction of embankments for noise control. The remaining matter will continue being used for the restoration of the landfill demolition and other areas of the recovery park until it's closed in 2017. The press reports the possibility of liquefaction being used for land stabilisation is still unknown. Environment Canterbury Strategic Programs Manager Don Chittick says the subject is still under investigation.
Still to come, our business, traffic and weather updates.
Be immersed in the unique cultural highlights Germany has to offer every Tuesday night with Discover Germany. Tuesday at 7 p.m, right here on CTV.
Hi, I'm Steve and welcome to Carpet Kingdom. At Carpet Kingdom we stock a massive range of carpets and we're also the largest vinyl stockist in the South Island. And not only do we have an excellent range in store, but you can purchase our stock online. We offer free measuring quotes, we have our own installation team, we ship nationwide, so come on down and see us at Carpet Kingdom, 312 Wilsons Road in Waltham, just off Brougham Street, or visit us online at carpetkingdom.co.nz.
Come on down to Ferrymead Golf. Care for a game of paintball? How about some swings on the old driving range? Or on our par 3 9-hole golf course? Test your skills on the mini golf course or have a go at the airgun shooting range. Then relax at the Wow Cafe with one of our super succulent Wow Burgers. Whether you want to perfect your swing or are looking for a fun family day out, come down to Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
Located at the foot of the Port Hills, Ferrymead Golf offers a spectacular location for any occasion. Make a dream wedding a reality with private use of our green function room, outdoor garden courtyard, large marquee and stunning gazebo. Or for your next conference, enjoy the relaxed atmosphere of Ferrymead Golf, offering a private, spacious conference room with special deals to make any break a true break. All with customised catering from the Wow Cafe. Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
Be immersed in the unique cultural highlights Germany has to offer every Tuesday night with Discover Germany. Tuesday at 7 p.m, right here on CTV.
Today, our business correspondent Warren Head caught up with young businessman Sebastian Stapleton about the sale of his Christchurch company Mastercard to Enviro Waste Services.
I'm Warren Head from headliner.co.nz. Well, the big news downtown, of course, is all bad news at the moment. The incoming Mayor, Leanne Dalzell, wanted to know what the financial position of the Christchurch City Council was when she was elected. And now, according to the independent financial advisors to the city, Corda Mentha, which is an Auckland accounting firm, we have a large problem. A funding shortfall of $534 million, in fact, a cost overrun at the same time that we're now looking to pay for those major projects which the Crown wants to install downtown. Now, at this magnitude, the back of the envelope calculation is that this overrun will equal about $3,236 per ratepayer. So how do you feel at home about that? You, like me, would naturally expect someone to check the numbers and see if they stack up. Now, Earthquake Minister Jerry Brownlee has said he's going to do just that, so we expect a bit of a hiatus for a while that happens. But how would you at home like to see this problem handled? Higher rates? I think you'll agree they've just gone up anyway, and we have been worried about that if you're a ratepayer. And ratepayers don't actually add up to all the people in the city, so should they pay a little bit as well? I think the answer lies in setting some fresh priorities for the repairs and maintenance around the place. In fact, I got a little bit annoyed with the tightening of the roads, you know, those things that constrict and choke the side streets. While you're stuck in the main traffic on the main route, you like to go down the side route and you find that the old problems are still there. So maybe a little bit less of that. Launch something like a city bond at an interest rate that would fill the issue. Now, I think that's attractive and somebody should take a good look at that. And I believe the Cameron partners have been engaged by the city to come up with some of these solutions. Or sell something. Now, the city's investment company, CCHL, which is an independent organisation and pays a lot of dividends to the City Council and keeps our rates down, it owns 100% of CityCare, 100% of Enable, 100% of Red Bus, 79% of Littleton Port Company, 75% of Auckland Airport, Christchurch Airport, and 89% of Orion and 39% of Selwyn Plantation. Other cities have airport companies which have sold off some of their stock to the public and have gone on to greater heights, so to speak. So I just leave that one with you. Now, talking of assets, selling assets, our studio guest today is Sebastian Stapleton, who took on a one-truck waste collection business straight from school at the age of 17. He built it into the South's biggest independent operator, Masterguard, which he has just sold to Enviro Waste Services. Sebastian, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
What are Masterguard's customers?
Okay, well, Masterguard had about 8,000 to 9,000 commercial customers in the Greater Canterbury region. We also had 4 district council contracts, including contracts on the west coast, Ashburton, and up in the Selwyn area. So the company had quite a wide and diverse client base, but primarily focused on the commercial business-to-business market.
Now, you owned it for some 14 years. What were the critical factors that enabled you to grow to the size you got to?
When I first started in the waste industry, there was something like 120 different companies in the marketplace, and over this time there's been a lot of consolidation. The council introduced new wheelie bins, which stimulated activity in the market. I was able to acquire, I think it's 12 or 13 different companies along our journey. We certainly took our share of risks in growing the business, right. and a lot of hard work from the team that I've had working with me.
Very good. And if a young guy was starting out today in the rebuild with one truck, what would be the advice you would give to him in terms of business overall and then the equipment side? Rent, buy, borrow?
Well, first thing is, if he's already started out, he's done the right thing. A lot of people think about doing things and they just don't do it. The main thing is you've actually got to be doing it, not thinking about doing it. But I would recommend people, you've got to make do with what you can. In the later stages of the business, we were able to buy brand new equipment, and that certainly pays its way. But in the early stages, we had to beg, steal, borrow everything we could just to get things going. So the key thing is just to get out there, make contact with people, get people on board, and really a business is about the people. If you've got the right people in terms of your shareholders, in terms of your staff, it will come a long way. And probably treat people how you want to be treated.
I hear you treated them pretty well. Did you treat the equipment well as well by looking after them?
Look, we had our ups and downs. We had a lot of brand new equipment in the later years, but in the earlier time, we made do with what we could. We had a comprehensive fleet management program, several in-house mechanics and engineers, and the waste industry is very capital intensive, very hard on the equipment, so it was important to stay on top of that side of things.
Well, best of luck with the next big business that you launch.
Thank you very much, Warren.
Thanks for coming in. I'm Warren Head for headliner.co.nz.
If you're driving around the central city, CTV's traffic update will assist you navigating the repairs taking place.
Hello travellers, to help you plan your journey around the central city, here's some tips on how to escape those jams this week. Remember, the 4 avenues are your quickest ways around the city. For northbound journeys, we recommend Montreal Street, as major work has now been completed and it's a smooth journey all the way. When heading south, Fitzgerald Avenue is your best bet. Colombo Street's also a good access route into the CBD from the north and south. If travelling down Fitzgerald Avenue, Hereford Street's an easy way to get into the CBD. To keep up to date on what's happening with the central city roads, stay tuned, keep watching CTV News, first at 5 each night, and in the meantime visit the Transport for Christchurch website.
And finally tonight, your regional weather.
Kia ora everyone, let's take a look at today's temperatures. Down in South Canterbury, Timaru had 13 degrees today. Temuka and Geraldine on 13 degrees also. Ashburton 13 degrees for your Thursday. Methven had 13 degrees. Rakaia 13 degrees for you. Darthfield had 13 degrees today as well. Leeston and Rolleston had 13 degrees today. Lincoln also on 13 degrees. And Christchurch, well, a little warmer with 14 degrees for you. Akaroa also had 13 degrees for your Thursday, and north of the Waimak, Kaipoi, Rangiora and Amberley, all on 14 degrees today. Looking inland, Culverden and Hamner Springs both on 14 degrees and 14 for Cheviot as well. Further up along the east coast, Kaikoura are receiving 14 degrees today. Let's take a look at the weather in your area. Timaru, mostly fine with cloudy skies during the morning, but sunny periods increasing during the afternoon. Southwesterly winds expected. Tonight's low 4 degrees, tomorrow's high 12. Ashburton, a fine cool day with cloud about but sunny periods developing later on. Tonight's overnight low 4 degrees, tomorrow's high 12. Christchurch, chilly southwesterly breezes expected despite some sunshine developing during the afternoon. Tonight's overnight low 4 degrees, tomorrow's high 12 degrees. Kaikoura, mostly fine with cloudy skies during the morning but sunny periods increasing during the afternoon, with some southwesterly winds expected. Tonight's low 4 degrees, tomorrow's high 12. In other areas now, Temuka and Geraldine can expect 11 degrees, Methven 11 for you and 11 in Rakaia. Darthfield, you can expect 11 degrees tomorrow and Leeston 11 degrees for you. Rolleston and Lincoln, 11 degrees for you as well, and Akaroa, 11 degrees expected for you. And out in North Canterbury, Kaipoi and Rangiora, the same for you with 11 degrees tomorrow. Amberley also have 11 expected there. And the only difference will be for Culverden, Hamner Springs and Cheviot, with a cloudy day ahead with 12 degrees tomorrow. Looking ahead for Canterbury, fine with some cloud on Saturday, moderate southwesterly winds are expected. Fine from Sunday through to Wednesday with a mix of sunny periods and high cloud. Fine from sunny through to Wednesday with a mix of sunny periods and high cloud, with pleasant daytime temperatures, but cooler at night with ground frosts. Light northeasterly winds prevailing. That's your weather update for Thursday. Have a great evening.
And that's CTV News for Thursday. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.